Okay, my first date with Ainsley, and remember, I don't know who he is. I just met this drummer backstage. I had his name, but we didn't have internet then. There was no way to look him up or see what his background was. I didn't know who he was. So anyway, I was supposed to meet him at the House of Blues. I live in Santa Barbara. He was in LA, and it was House of Blues on Sunset. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to pull up and I'm going to meet him inside and we'll go on our date and have lunch there or something. But instead, um, he was out front, and I had just in the middle of moving, and my car was an absolute disaster, like junk just piled up in every seat all the way to the ceiling. It was a disaster, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to pull up. He's going to see that not only am I totally a mess anyway, but that it's just an amazing disaster. So I pulled over into this parking lot really quick and I open up my car and I just take everything in loads, just loads at a time. Didn't matter what they were. I just grabbed as much as I could, like stuck it in my trunk and then barely could like close the thing down. And then I'm like, oh my God, break a sweat, break a sweat. So then I get in the car, try to compose myself, drive up. Hi. And my car is empty. And he goes, oh, good. We have to park down below. So let me get in your car and we'll go and we'll park down below. I'm like, oh, thank God I did that. So he gets in my car and he's like, wow, you're very neat. My ex-wife was kind of messy. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm totally neat. It's perfect. I'm just like that. So I pull up to the little traffic guy and he goes, $3. And so I go to get my wallet and my wallet is not anywhere. And he's like, oh yeah, of course you didn't bring your wallet. I'm like, no, seriously, I brought my wallet. And so then I realized my wallet is in the trunk. So I said, hold on, I think it's in my trunk. I'm going to go get it. So I go, would you mind, or I think it's somewhere in the car. Would you mind looking in the front? I'm going to start looking in the back. So just look for it. So I just want to keep him away from the trunk. So he's looking in the front. I go to the trunk. I open the trunk. Like all of the garbage and stuff comes up like this big. I reach my hand in a couple of times, and the first time I reach it in, I pull it out. It's so good. It's like a Jack in the Box wrapper wrapped around an old hairbrush, wrapped around a pair of panties, just like anything, food, clothing, anything gross, all combined together in this thing. And I'm like, oh my God. And so now he's coming around to the side and I'm like, hey, just check the back seat. So then I try to put my hand in one more time. And then he checks the back seat. He's just about to come around and see the trunk with all my junk. And my hand hits the wall. I pull it out, I get the wallet. And I said, right before I opened, right before you saw it, I said, will you check the wheel well? I'm like, what a weird thing to say. So he goes, okay. So he checks the wheel well of my car. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't even know what to think. So then I'm like, okay, I have the wallet. And he gets up just about to see it. I slam the trunk. And I'm like, oh my God. Totally breaking another sweat because I'm so nervous. So I get back in the car, we go and we park, and then we walk. The parking lot's down here. The House of Blues is up here on the street. So we walk up. Okay, and now we're going to go to his car. So I don't know what kind of car he is. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a crazy person. I don't know if he's a serial killer. I don't know. So there's four cars on the street, and he's got his key and he's talking, and I'm not even listening. And the first car is a Gremlin. And for those of you that don't know what a Gremlin is, it's like this bubble car that they made that's kind of if you want to look totally uncool, this is the car you get. Like it's a kooky car and it's famous for that. Okay, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a Gremlin. Oh my God. Maybe he only, makes $4 a year. I don't know. So then anyway, I move to the next, he passes by. I'm like, thank God. So then he goes to the next car and it's a Porsche. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's a drummer. Maybe, oh yeah, he's probably got this new Porsche, probably wealthy drummer and all this kind of cool stuff. And he passes by that car. The next one is a van, and it's big bright yellow van, the old 70s vans with the bubble windows, and it's got carpeting on the inside and the walls and dice hanging and everything. And it looks like Silence of the Lambs. And I'm like, oh, he's going to open up the back, and it's like, it puts the lotion on its skin. That's going to be me. I'm going to be totally in this van. I'm going to a desert somewhere in some warehouse. I'm never coming back. This is it. I don't even have a cell phone to tell anybody, to tell them where I am or who I'm with. This is it. This is goodbye world. And so then we take one more step over. He passes that car. Thank God. My heart's out of my chest. And so like a vintage Mercedes. I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay. So then we get in, we go to lunch so we're in Santa Monica. We go down to lunch and I ordered like this massive mess of a sandwich. Do not order this on a date. I ordered a club sandwich and like 6 loaves of bread in it. And so I had to pick it all apart. It was just this mess. And now as I was eating, it had spinach and stuff in it. Well, this big leaf of spinach got caught right in my teeth right here. and I could feel it, like it was hanging on my tongue, you know. And he was talking to me, and I was like, and it was, I could feel it like dangling and like a big flag, you know. And so I go, okay, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom, I can't get it out; it's just wedged in there. And so I have an earring. It was a little post diamond earring, you know, fake diamond. So I take it out and I go, okay, I'll just jam it through there. But the earring has a little bump in the middle on the straight post part. So I stick it in my teeth, and the spinach comes out, but the earring sticks. So it's right here. And so this big diamond earring right here. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do now? I can't get that out. This other woman's in there. So I tell her my story. I'm starting to cry. And I'm like, this is it. You know, like with this piece of spinach, we'll never be wed. This is over. And she actually pushes it from the back and gets it out with me. And I put it back in my ear, and I go back, and I thought, okay, this is it. He'll think I'm crazy. I've been gone so long. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, oh no, you know, didn't tell him anything. And then, but it all worked out because I got a second date.